Hey guys, welcome back to the Project Bodybuilding Podcast here with our Pittsburgh Pro predictions. This is going to be a great episode, probably going to be the show of the year outside of the Olympia. I think this will be better than the Arnold, better than the New York Pro. I think this is for at least this year the best show of the regular season. And with me to make some usual some interesting takes. We have Xavier Wills from Desktop Bodybuilding.
What's up, Dylan?
I can't wait to see what you pick today. I
I'm, I'm glad you redid the intro because the first one was an abomination.
okay, you know what? You should you should I wish this would stop clipping. Okay. Okay.
Your microphone? Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, it's because it's into my shoulder. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
you ready to make some predictions?
Yep, I am. I have nothing else to
Have you
add. Let's get
how
to it.
have you been giving a lot of thought to this? Like because I've been doing my series, I think about it, and I probably change my prediction like every day.
I changed my predictions today, so I don't know. Like, yeah, I was listening to Olympia TV just before.
Oh
When you
yeah,
listen to
yeah.
other people's perspectives, you start to go. But I tell you what's been playing in my head: the Crizzo video and photos from that show that you were showing me. The what was that? The Emperor, was
The
it?
2023 M Pro Classic. We'll definitely get to that.
That was impressive.
It was. It was. We'll get to that. And we'll talk about all the top open competitors and, of course, make our predictions list. But, oh man,
And,
I
and
cannot start with this. That's going to have to be blurred out. Okay, that'd be crazy
timestamp that.
if he was watching. That'd be crazy if he was watching. He's like, what, why the fuck is my thing pulled up? Anyway. Okay. Take two. No, I'll just leave that in. But let's see here. Let me already pull up what I want to talk about. Not really. So,
Not really.
well, I was gonna make a joke. I was gonna make a joke. Justin Shire being in classic physique because we're talking about classic physique first, but I figured that'd be a little mean.
I really like Justin Shape.
I really like his personality.
Yeah, me too. I feel like
Ooh,
he has that dry sense of humor where he can. I don't know. It's good.
slight tricep tear.
I hope not. I hope not.
Arms are
I
good
mean,
enough
it's
anyway.
bodybuilding. It can be a tear. It can be a shot. It could be anything.
It could be, like him and his wife were beating on each other the night before.
Possibly. You never know.
Anyway,
She's pretty strong.
let me pull up the oh yeah, Jasmine. Yeah, she's a pro
Yeah.
now, I believe.
Yeah.
Let me
I
pull
think so.
up all the official graphics. I really like how they did the rollout of all these athletes. You know what I mean?
I agree. I don't like it when there's like contests on, and obviously they pay a ton to have these contests on. And they just do no social media. It's like,
Yeah. I
please.
and there's quite a large social media presence, and not even just like resharing content of people who's doing the show, actual like stuff. Like I
Yeah.
think I want to know who's at the show, and I like how they distinguish special guest instead of just showing Phil Heath at the show. Some shows will show Phil Heath is doing the show, and it's the exact same graphic as someone who's competing. So like, what?
Yeah.
Why is it like that? And
And
you
then it
get
will
your
say
hopes
like
up.
I think I saw one with Samson maybe, and it was like Samson on stage in whatever. It's like he's
Right.
standing on the stage and maybe talking, maybe doing a guest posing,
He's
but
giving
there's
out an
like,
award.
yeah, exactly. No, I swear there's one like that where there's not even a guest
I
posing,
know
and I
what
said,
show it is. I don't want to talk. I know which show it is. Anyway, let's get
see, I don't
to
even know, so I can remain ignorant with my appraisal.
classic. Man, see how much they post? See how far I had to go back? Oh,
Yeah,
there is this guy. He was at the Pittsburgh Pro last year. I don't want to talk about him too much. Demetrio Krashan Zan Krazan.
Krazan. Yeah, I'm gonna say Krazan.
He got some fans last year. People really like the look. I
He's a
don't.
smooth operator. Look at him.
I guess you can say that. Let's see.
Yeah,
What was his thing? It wasn't under Demetrio. It was
I
like
really liked his look.
your coach IFBB Pro.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
got a good physique, smooth
oh,
operator, good legs. waist is small enough. It's not like the most tiny waist ever, but it's plenty small
Yeah,
enough.
I've certainly
Back
had
in,
tighter.
yeah.
Here's
I
another
watched something.
less. No, that's not.
Sorry.
Oh, trains and pajama pants. How do you feel about that?
A guy like that can get away with it.
No, no. We don't allow that in America. No, well, I was hoping for a video, but yeah, that we've seen enough.
He looks like a
Probably
doctor in his spare time, or a
probably a
surgeon.
top five guy. Probably not like pushing for the win. Is that fair to
I
say?
don't think not with this lineup. I don't think, but he
Yeah,
is sort of like in that. To me, he's got the physique where he'd be in the group right behind the top guys, and if he can
yeah.
just, he'd probably maybe have to go. His conditioning would have to go to maybe even another level, even though he's got great conditioning already. It's like, but you sort of go like, where does he improve? Like that's
Chest
really,
thickness, back
yeah, yeah.
thickness.
There's a few little areas. Back looks nice, so legs are good. Or very
Legs are
good.
definitely good, but yeah, I would agree with you. Outside, when I say top five, I mean like fifth or fourth, which in that group will probably come down to like a three-man call out or something like that. Or maybe if it's a large top call out, he'll be like off to the end there. Not that that's a bad thing because this is a pretty okay lineup, even though there's only a couple of guys that are really going to push here. But we can of course talk about those guys. Michael DeBull's out. He won't be one of the guys we're talking about today. Michael DeBull is out.
Unfortunately,
Yes. I think, yes, Brady King is doing classic. We've talked about this. I told you this actually. You didn't know. Just in case
I
you
feel
thought I
like
was
Brady should
lying
have
to
stayed
you,
in open.
I think he should have as well. So if you guys don't know Brady King, he was a open competitor. I don't want to say the best. He wasn't a top guy. That's just objectively true. But he used to have like, I mean, look, he's very wide, and he was
Pretty good.
pretty large. Um, but moving back down to after years in open, that's kind of tough to do. We're going to talk about Josema, who did move to classic, but he was 22. He's not
Yeah.
a seasoned open guy. Like this guy's shredded and massive. He had a lot more to lose to get down to classic. But I mean, there are elements that make me think it's going to be okay, but a lot of the times the look is just not that good. Not that it won't
Yeah.
be.
I wonder how much muscle he has to sacrifice on this. You know what I mean?
Do you know how tall he is?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I
I
don't
am
know either.
unsure.
His last showing, correct me if I'm wrong, which I doubt you would know. This is for the audience. Was at the 2024 Cali Pro, and he was like 14th or something. So
Okay. I reckon my placing had a lot to do with him dropping down then.
I I reckon. I mean, Cali's probably one of the weakest shows, definitely the weakest show in the U.S. I would say, actually, and to place 14th there, that's pretty tough. But we'll see. We'll see how it
Some people have
goes.
questioned the judging there in the past, so who knows?
Yes,
They love
maybe he
the
could have
super
won.
aesthetic guys there, like so they say.
Maybe they robbed him 13
I don't know
places.
about that, but I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing like if you can really cinch that waist in, you know what I mean? Like if you can bring more aesthetics, because like with Regan when he came down, I feel like he got less aesthetic because like the
Yes.
waist stayed the same, but the muscle came down, so it's just less taper, And once you've already sort of taken your physique to that level, it is very hard to come down. But like you said with Josema, he actually pulled it off, and I didn't think he'd be able to, and I thought that was a bad choice too. So
I think I
I
have
was
this
sort
chick's
of
shoes.
wrong there.
Oh,
You have chick shoes?
they're unisex.
You need sex.
I hate women. But anyway, let's talk about the real lineup, which is coming down to a two-man for the most part. Not the two-man me and Xavier ran last night, if you know what I'm saying. But Rough
Yeah.
Diesel and Jose Manuel Manoz, or Josema Beast. I just call him Josema. So Rough Diesel's kind of doing a comeback here. Um, he last competed in 2023 at the tail end of that in an Indian show. Oh, gag me with a spoon. But then we have Jose. Josema, who was sixth at last year's Olympia. That's pretty good. I picked him as like a wild card because I was like, I have my top four or like top five, and I was like, I want to kind of pad the list, so I want to give like some alternative choices. Maybe I gave like three for like a top eight in addition to my top five. Josema was one of those I just kind of pulled out of my ass, and sure enough, he was top six. So very different physiques, very different physiques, and I have a certain way I feel about this, but there is a third element, a completely unknown element, actually.
A Brazilian element, you might say.
Yes, and yes, he's in the board shorts, but he will not be competing in men's physique. So Carlos de Oliveira will be competing in the classic physique division, his classic physique debut. So
You can see what he says there. Classic version coming soon. Let's fucking go.
yes,
I agree. I like Kaiki. Kaiki views my stories like Kevin Levrone does randomly, considering he doesn't follow me.
I think that was fake news. But
That was not fake news. He actually viewed my stories. I don't know
let's
why.
talk about, and I'm gonna give us a time limit here, not that I'll put it on the screen, but we don't need to talk too much about this. But let's talk about what we have. I put this video together and I didn't end up getting around to it, so I'm gonna give you the skinny version first, and you can follow along with me, Xavier. So
Okay.
we have here, let's just talk about Josema versus Ruffin first. Ruffin pretty much only has the advantage of being more classic and aesthetic. That's it. Which I think beats Josema, but Josema's probably going to win more shots. Front double, no. This isn't one. This is not one of them, right? It's just
No, no.
his shape isn't that good. A lot of mass, a lot of for a classic guy, a lot of, and he's shredded. We'll come to find that in other shots. Not the best shot, but here, this is a little interesting. You got Josema dog walks Terrence here, just because Terrence is, and I think I made Terrence here. I sized him based on Breon versus Josema, just made Terrence a little bit shorter. So I think Terrence is actually, it's it's likely that I maybe made him too tall in this
No,
comparison.
I'd say this looks accurate to me.
But this is a shot that Josema's like always going to win. It's about the thickness, whether we're in classic 212 or open. And I mean, there's only so much you can do with Terrence's frame.
Mm. Kaiki's lighting there is absolute balls.
Right.
Bad.
I included this just because, and he's 6 foot, 6'2", mind you. So
6'2". Is Kaiki 6'2"?
yes, I looked this up.
That dude could be trouble, man.
And you have to think about it. 6'2" with a side chest like 6'2" with a moderate amount, a mediocre amount of size could beat Terrence. No, in the side chest, no disrespect, but this is a thickness pose. And this is 10 weeks out, bathroom lighting on it, so he's going to be fuller. But I mean, in what world does Terrence beat Kayaki's side chest pose?
Dude, like I'm wondering if Kaiki could just like completely shock the classic world. Like, how much chance did we think Wesley Vissers was going to win that Arnold Classic last year? Like, no
Or
one thought that
Logan
was a
Franklin this
possibility.
year.
Or
Well, he didn't
Logan
win.
Franklin this year, even though he didn't win, but had he won,
Mike
it wouldn't
Sommerfeld
be a
last
shock.
year.
Mike Summerfield, who would have thought he would have taken first place votes off Seabum? Like, there's so
Right.
many shocks in Classic that I'm wondering if Kaiki could be that shock and beat everyone.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait till you
And then
hear
go
my
into the Olympia as
predictions.
a favorite.
Wait until you
Okay.
hear my predictions. Okay. But then we have the back pose. And again, the only thing Terrence really has is like aesthetics. And yes, a back can look aesthetic. Jose is probably technically winning. I guess you can call it that. Shredded lower body, bigger overall, very thick back. But I can see someone, maybe you will say this, saying, I don't like the look of his back. I got to go with Terrence.
Yeah, I mean, the class is classic. You know what I mean? Like, I don't ever see Josema winning the Classic Olympia. Like, I just don't
No,
think that's a shape they'd go for.
never.
Um,
He'll have to go back to open eventually too, which I'm
I think
okay
he
with.
will. Yeah, I am too. Yeah, I agree. And he could just be that freak in the open too. It's not even like he's an particularly aesthetic guy in the open.
22.
So when you say, yeah, he's young. So, I mean, he doesn't need to be the most aesthetic to win this show, but just with the way Terence Ruffin looks, I feel like in a show like this where there's three possible winners, I feel like they'll go for one of the aesthetic guys to win if they're good enough, obviously. But I don't know. I feel like Josema, he would just have to out freak the other dudes. Like he has to just come in better condition, which he probably will do.
Bit of a freak off.
Yeah, freak off, a la Diddy in Miami. And yeah, I just have a feeling that yes, he'll win some shots on conditioning, and in the video, your eyes will probably be drawn to Josema. Because my eyes, a lot of the time in the lineups, on pay-per-views at least anyway, Terence Ruffin's like complexion is so dark that he sort of used to fade a bit into the background. And he wouldn't pop, in terms of like what you're going to look at straight away, and because he's shorter in structure. But I think he'll just have that combination where he'll beat Josema. And I think that with Ruffin's improvements, I think this shot might beat Josema. But I think the freakier one would look.
Oh, what do we have here?
That's a Kaiki.
And I added this just for posterity. The legs will not be an issue. I'm pretty okay with that. I think based on his updates, he has been showing that, hasn't been showing a whole lot of back, but he's shredded, and I think the legs are going to be okay. But you can see here, this is not a weak back. It's not in the pose, but this is not a weak back. The lat insertions are there, thick back, defined, shredded. Hitting this in a front double, in a rear double, it's going to be okay. He doesn't have to beat Terence. Doesn't have to, because I don't even know if Terence is beating Josema, but he's not going to get lost. He may even be Ruffin may be the one that's getting lost next. I mean, Josema's like 5'8", 5'9", maybe a bit taller. I don't know. And then Kaiki is apparently 6'2" from what I found on the internet. And even if he's 6 foot, even if he's 5'11", Terence at like 5'5" is going to get lost in between these two behemoths, at least next to him.
Yeah. No, I agree. He definitely could get lost in the lineup, but then he could be the one that stands out because you got these two guys looking really big, and Terence might just look a little bit more like detailed and more aesthetic. Like, yes, this is a very aesthetic pose, even though it's not a pose that's known for showing aesthetics.
It flows well.
It flows well, yeah. And the way he hits it as well, like Josema, like the legs are a little bit more straight up and down. As freaky as they are, like the hamstrings and the
less
glutes.
Sweep on the quads for sure, and it does do something to the pose.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it less of an X frame, and he doesn't flow perfectly in the upper body either. Like
you're telling me. I mean, I don't really know. Like the lats are just so thick. I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. For better or worse. The traps too. And the traps are really wide. Like they're taking up a lot of space on his overall back. But anyway.
And it makes the arms look short, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Look how like Ruffin's arms look longer.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know.
I think Josema may win the actual like abs and thighs, even though I don't really like his thighs. Pretty good abs, actually.
He's just so shredded that when he moves, like it might look different, in the video type of thing. But Terence Ruffin is such an expert poser that I don't think he's going to like lose the transitions. You know what I mean? So I just think that, yeah, as crazy as Josema is, if Terence Ruffin is good enough, I think Terence Ruffin will win because of the aesthetics.
We have a vacuum.
Show it to me. Okay, yeah, well, I think Josema probably wins that. I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you're having trouble choosing between these two, may I introduce the real winner of this shot? I think he'll probably win this.
Yeah, we need to see it. But look at the quad poking out the bottom of the shorts too on Kaiki. Like the medialis and lateralis are both like striated. You can see just from the shorts. Like,
and again, I really didn't size him because it wasn't my plan to like actually make him part of this comparison. Just kind of like interject him there just to talk about him a little. So it may not be sized perfectly, but we're just looking at the abs here, and as you said, the quad. From what we can see, this is another pose where he probably it's not going to get lost. It's not going to be awful. And in my opinion, I think he probably wins this shot. Really.
Yeah, it's hard to say without him actually in the pose, but yeah,
if he looks this good out of the pose, what do you think?
I think that he's going to have the flow too, because these men's physique guys normally can pose pretty well, like in the traditional bodybuilding shots. Now it's going to be the first time doing it on stage, so there could be the nerves and all that sort of stuff. But I just have a feeling, I like Kaik. He's doing it for me.
He
Like,
is. He's doing it for me as well.
uh,
The flow,
he's
the
very
poses.
striated.
Oh, and look, it's got the Tony Duong seal of approval.
Who's Tony Duong?
Excuse me? Placed second to Urs Kalasinski at the 2022 Boston Pro.
Is he doing good things in bodybuilding?
He just opened something where there's food. It's like a gym with health food or something like that, and he's having a kid.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So he's doing big things.
yeah, he is.
I have to dad pun it as much as I can.
Yeah, you should hurt yourself.
Yeah, okay.
What do you think about the flow, Xavier, of this little
It's
pose here?
sick. This is such a sick pose, man. Like that was my favorite shot to do in bodybuilding, and I think about how I'd look next to that, and I'd look so shit.
Yeah,
So it's like,
it wouldn't even like you would look so bad next to this. It wouldn't even. You would get laughed off the stage. I mean, you would
it
look
doesn't
like
need to be rubbed in
utter.
too much.
You would look
I
like
need to
utter
find it now. I
dog
didn't look too
shit
bad.
next
I didn't look
to.
too bad.
In fact, you.
No, I would. I would look terrible next to this. But I feel like I want to show you now. But no, don't worry.
No, you ever like get into the conversations with people and they do kind of like a self-deprecating thing and they're like you just said, "Oh, I look so bad there." And then someone instead of like even just like leaving it neutral, sometimes you can be maybe fishing for a response like they'll say, "Oh, you're not that." No, I think you actually look pretty decent. And then
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes they do what I do unironically. They'd be like, "Yeah, you'd get fucking lost up there, bud." I don't know if you ever come in contact with a situation like that or a person like that.
They continually fishes for compliments.
No, that that is the opposite. That fishes for ways to insult you. Actually, I know who you're gonna
Well,
say.
you,
Me, me.
yeah. No.
Please, not unironically. Xavier, please.
Okay.
People are actually going to think I'm a terrible person, which I am. I think objectively I'm not that good of a person. I can't wait till these personal life allegations really come out about how bad of a person I am. But anyway, you know what I'm not
Wait,
bad
are
at?
you saying that? Are you saying that ironically? So I say that you're not that bad of a person.
No, I'm I'm prepping the audience for the eventual downfall of Dylan from Project Bodybuilding.
There was an episode of this YouTuber that I watched, and he kept on like saying like over exaggerating that like things that people have done are like so bad or whatever. And then he was like basically saying that like this person's going to be a murderer, and he just made a Netflix like cover of every single person that he was talking about. Like he's like it will later come out in a Netflix documentary, and it was like it's had like these funny fucking names and then like pictures of them, and they look like legit Netflix documentaries. Like we should do that with you, like Dylan Project Bodybuilding,
Yeah, what
some
would
sort of fucked up title.
I was gonna say something that you and I would both laugh at, but I can't say the word.
No, 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 no.
But anyway.
Project Murder. I don't know.
Okay, so we were kind of talking about posing, but Kaieki's like who knows, right? Josema not that good of a poser really, and then Ruffin is probably the best in the world still.
I've got to say, Josema, that pose does look sick. It's like, it's for whatever reason, I think it looks like he's got a split head bicep and crazy peak, very tucked in vacuum on that one. The upper body's like supreme. The legs aren't as like good as the rest, but they are very hard. And I think like your attention's diverted away from that anyway. Like, I don't know, like it's Terrence Ruffin will probably hit a few classic poses though, and all of them will look very aesthetic and good. So I don't know. What do you think of that?
I'm
I would
trying to.
have Josema there.
Okay, well, Terrence isn't usually doing this. He's doing the side tricep a lot of the time in his the mandatories. But
Yeah.
I can't. Okay, Josema's not winning the overall posing category. I mean, let's be. This is my favorite routine from Terrence. Oh,
Not the posing. But I don't judge the posing, bro.
oh. It could be a
Loads were
factor.
blown.
Don't be surprised if you hear Tyler saying, "Oh, we gave it to Terrence because posing."
But he won't say because of opposing routine though.
Yeah, they'll say posing though. I don't
Yeah,
mind
they
it
will.
coming
Yeah.
down to posing. I really don't. Like I think if you put on a stellar routine like this, especially in classic, you can judge this and you can award points on this. But you're right. Until they actually do that on the scorecard, it shouldn't be deciding things at all.
Yeah, I think it should be on the scorecard because this is sick and people want to watch this, you know? And if you knew, if as a fan, if you knew the posing routine counted, you would pay more attention to it and be like, how good Terrence, like, you know, yes, combine the physique, combine the posing with it, but it's the way you make the physique look in the routine. Like, this is sick. Like, he's holding his physique in all the best like angles and ways to make himself look so aesthetic. And it's just executed so well as well. Like, he actually reminds me of like a tighter waist Sean Ray almost in this routine because of the way he hits his shots. And he
Yeah,
has so many shots outside the mandatories that look so good. So yeah, I think that
he
this
has
should give him points, you know?
he has the same glutes and hams as Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah, just smaller.
The
Like it's
butterfly
yeah,
glutes, yeah.
it is
So
very
basically,
impressive.
he is Ronnie Coleman because Ronnie would be nothing without his glutes.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard Ruffin saying, I've heard say stuff like lightweight baby.
Yeah, I have heard him say that. I have. Okay, I don't even. I like this is a good routine. It's on his YouTube. It's from the 2022 Arnold Classic. If you want to give it a watch, I know like he gets a lot of credit for like his Survivor routine. That's a good one. I used to watch it all the time during cardio and such. That's really the only time I watch posing, to be honest, besides for video. But this one, I do think is his life's work. His magnum opus.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very good. I
But
appreciate it.
it's time, Xavier. Hold on. Let me make two. Duplicate slide. You know, one time I put instead of like classic prediction instead of classic physique, I accidentally and I wasn't even thinking about this. I said, like sometimes people abbreviate men's physique with MP division, right? One
Yeah.
time on YouTube in one of my titles, I legitimately put CP division.
CP, that sounds so weird. It's not right, is it?
Well, you know what that means.
Um,
And
no.
like it's really bad to be putting it in a title. I'll send it to you. But I fixed it. But someone swiped up. Someone typed in my comment section. They were like, "Why would you call it the CP division? That's crazy." And I'm like, "What do you mean? That's what it is." And it's classic physique. And then
Oh,
and then, like
okay.
and then like
Stupid.
a week later I got it. Or 3 days later I understood because I kept thinking about it. I was like, "Oh, oh wow. I just put that on I just put that on YouTube. That's insane. I can't believe it." Anyway, anyway, that aside, let's get into some classic physique predictions. I just want your top 3.
Is that Kaiki?
No. Yeah, maybe when he was 12.
Yeah, I know. I look fucking anorexic there.
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
No, I want to.
Okay.
Bold prediction. I don't think anyone else will be predicting this, but I'm going to say Kaiki first.
Okay, I was gonna do that, you piece of shit.
I know. That's why I wanted to go first. But I'm going to say Terrence Ruffin.
You have Josema over Demetrio or somebody else like that?
Yeah.
I'm going to do the same thing. I think though,
Fucking copycat.
shut up. You know what? Before I added Kayeki into my prediction into my slides, I was like, oh, he's not going to be a factor. He'll be like third. And then I was
Hmm.
like, well, if it comes down to Josema and Ruffin, they're going to have to give it to Ruffin. You can't reward Josema's shape, despite great muscle mass and condition. You just can't. But in a situation where they're fighting for second, I think giving Josema the win over Ruffin is a lot more reasonable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, yeah. Makes sense.
Also, well, we got to talk about Ruffin at large because he is improved. He's like up like 20 pounds or something like that. And he
I
shredded.
know he's gonna be my prediction for the Olympia. I don't know why I'm predicting him not to win this show because I look at that and I'm like, oh holy shit, that's such quality. So
But
yeah,
here's the thing. I think this sounds so bad, and I don't mean it because I was a Terrence Ruffin fan for the longest time and still am. I don't know if he should have been as rewarded as he has been over the years.
do you know what? I was gonna say something similar, but I thought about this more, like just watching that routine, and I'm like, if the judges actually take that into account, like just say the routine was judged and it was a small part of the score, then I'm like, okay, then it's justified his placings over the years. You know what I mean? At least from what we see. And we're not seeing these guys in person, but I would say, okay, then with the posing, okay, it's justified. But without the posing and quality of the routines, like maybe say, yeah, maybe he's, definitely always placed where he should or slightly
Second to
higher.
C-Bum twice in a row. I can tell you that 20 and 20 and 2021, Breon should have beat him both years.
Yeah, I was going to say at least one of those years I thought I would have maybe had Breon, especially the one where they moved Breon out to the side and then they put Ruffin in second. I wonder how
Probably
much of
2020.
that is because like Breon was like bumping C-Bum and shit and like getting really aggressive.
That's so gay. I want to see it. I want to see it. But
Have you seen that though? Have you seen that
I think that was
on stage?
2020. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. But the thing is, like, Kayeki is 6'2". This is going to be like a C-Bum situation all over again. Not even because Kayeki is C-Bum, but it's like, it's just tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
Like, you can be conditioned and complete until you're blue in the face, until you're dead. but
Yeah.
like, shredded 6'2" is shredded 6'2".
Yeah. Which
But
is hard to beat.
But if anyone could win on sheer quality, it can be Ruffin. It can definitely be
Yep.
Ruffin. Ruffin will not be winning on size. He'll not be winning on completeness. He'll be winning on polish if he does win.
Yep. Dave Batista. Have you noticed my lights? I don't know if you can see it,
Why did
but
you say Dave Batista? Oh, I see him in the comments.
yeah. I my lights in my house for some reason keep dimming down and then going back up again. So
Yeah, that's
I
the
don't know.
deep state.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know.
Oh,
Thanks for the heads up.
for all those UK fans, Terrence will be doing a all-star tour with a friend of the show, Giles Tiger Thomas.
The
After,
tiger.
yeah, at the end of this month.
Very nice. Very nice.
All right. So that's those are our classic predictions. I think we can move on to the big boys.
The
What do you
big
say? What
boys.
do you say?
Yeah, I say yes.
Okay.
What's with your low quality it's like you didn't have the time to put together a high quality one with the desktop bodybuilding logo on there and the project bodybuilding
Oh
one.
no, on my predictions, they're always like this. It's always just text on a thing because
Okay.
I always forget. I think there's
I
some
feel
other
you.
ones in here. Yeah. This is for the literal Olympia, by the way.
That's all right.
Damn, that's crazy. Man, but look at that border on that one though. No, this is for the Arnold. It's for the Arnold.
Official results, you put Samson winning. Dumbass.
No, the results of the because I think what we did is averaged everyone's together.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
okay. But anyway, things were insulting my quality. You don't like our
Yeah, sorry, I
matching
called you a
his and her
dumbass.
predictions?
Yeah, I know. I noticed that. Dick.
Okay. Oh, you know who James is just not doing the show?
Yeah, I know he's not doing the show. Yeah.
Well, you don't have to talk about it, but him and I have beef.
Yeah,
we,
beef, why?
no,
What did you do?
no, because I'm literally always yapping at James. I'm always chirping him for, for literally no reason. You know that one time he's like, he didn't do Detroit, and then he's like, I don't need to do Detroit. I will get to the Olympia. I screen recorded that video, and I intended to use it at the end of the year when he didn't get to the Olympia, and I didn't, but I still have that video. I, like,
Be
and then
nice to James. I like James.
yeah, I need to stop. But then I saw that he was like,
He's a good man.
he's an update. Here's an update. And he was like, oh, he's back at 300 pounds. I thought he was competing in Detroit. It's like, come on, man. If you're on the poster, you gotta do it.
Yeah. I've got to watch his latest video actually, because he did, or not his, maybe his latest, one of his latest, where he says an update on what he's doing and all that sort of stuff. I've just been a bit behind with the times, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So I want to talk about our top. Oh, there's one more guy I don't want. Oh, I guess there's another one. Leandro Perez, who placed second to Good Vito, and I stand by the fact that if he was just a little more conditioned, he would have beat him. He will be competing.
You sound like Fuad said something like if he's a little harder, he would have
Yes,
beaten Good Vito.
yes, he did.
No,
And people,
you did not watch the show, did
yes, I
you?
did.
You watched the stream and you still believe that?
Yes, and I saw the high quality photos after. Yes,
Did you see the prejudging?
yes, that's the only one I watched actually.
The prejudging is way behind. I feel like Perez came back way bigger at finals, but at prejudging, no way. Like when you watch the video, I just don't even think it was close.
I think he should shut up.
I think you should watch your mouth.
Oh,
You're gonna
man.
find some photo, but when you were watching the video footage, I think it was clear.
There's just a bunch of garbage on this account. Where are the photos?
Yeah, I know it's an expo page. That's what kills me. Should be
Oh,
one just for the show.
I think it was on Muscle Contest International. They get it right. All right. All right
Get it
here.
right, Dylan.
Don't let me miss this because I'm about to prove you wrong. Tamer always
You
looks
ain't
like he's
proven
crying.
shit.
He always looks like he's crying.
There was that thing he put up, and it did look like he was crying. Yes.
Let's see.
Tamer? Oh no, you mean Tarek?
No, Tamer always looks like he's crying. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is finals.
This is finals for sure. Yeah,
Okay,
this is
and you
finals.
don't
I
want
can
that.
tell by the look.
This is prejudging.
No. Yeah, look, he is wiping him
Okay,
on the front.
okay. Rookie mistake. Let's not. There are 8 shots, Xavier. 8 shots.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone is in the pose here. So I think Good Vito can snap it better. I think Leandro can snap it better. I think this one is competitive. Very thick for Leandro, but peak width would go to Good Vito, but his lats are high.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say good Vito.
Imagine
Good Vito?
this. Imagine this. All I'm saying, I'm not arguing that Leandro should have won. I'm saying that if he was just a little bit more shredded, he would have won. Or he would have deserved the win. He didn't.
I'd say he would need to be dramatically more shredded because look at those hamstrings of Vito plus the quads. Like
Okay, but look how much. I mean, Leandro's
he's
already
good.
pretty
He's very
pretty
good.
conditioned. Very a lot thicker in the back. This back beats Good Vito's.
Not in this show, no. I think Good Vito's back is
Yes.
way harder.
Okay, but it's flimsy. This is a crepe versus a thick, all American, all Brazilian beef patty. You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, he's a
I don't
thick
think
boy.
you do. Good Vito would probably win the abs and thighs either way.
Easy. There's a bit of bloke there for Perez.
I think with this combined with the crab that we saw from earlier, I think Perez would have won the most muscular. Oh, I mean,
I think Good Vito basically wins every shot. Like
every shot.
Perez is very big there. Perez looks like
He's winning the shot
He looks-
now.
he looks to me like no, I don't think so because the midsection looked a little bit full. He looks like a guy who's carved up very heavily on insulin. And I have no clue of that, but it looks like a very heavy carb up because he is like full to the maximum and just not. good
That's
enough
not
condition.
the worst stomach issue you can have. And I mean, like, okay, I'll take a little.
No. I'm
little
not
worse
saying he had a
than
huge stomach issue.
I'll take a little worse than the stomach if it means I can actually have pecs as part of my side chest pose, which you aren't getting from Good Vito.
There's nearly as much pec. He just has a
What? What is it with you and Good Vito's side chest? You defend this shit until the very end. Wake up, Xavier. Wake up. This is a bad pose.
Good Vito needs to correct his posing on a few shots.
He's
in my
posing
opinion.
very straight across the shoulders. He's not, pushing the other pec into the other. It would help. It would help.
Yeah.
He
Then
still
could pull
lacks
the
density.
midsection back
He lacks
what I mean?
density. You can't tell me he doesn't.
slightly. Yeah.
Slightly.
Oh my god! I wish he picked his elbows up. That drives me insane how low they are. Gone to Vito.
The squatted stance too. He already has all the quad sweep in the world. He doesn't
Too
need
low.
to squat. this slow.
Mm.
I mean,
That's what I think. I was going to pick Good Vito in top 3 in the Pittsburgh, which I know you think is crazy, but
that's
I'm not doing
foolish.
it based on posing because I just don't think he's going to fix it in time. He's been over there in Brazil already, you know.
Once Brazil gets a hold of an athlete, their posing goes to shit.
It's like this.
But okay, Leandro's doing it. James is not. Eric Wood is doing it.
He would.
I
Very good
think he's.
bodybuilder.
Is he doing it? Is he doing it? I don't
Three
know if
weeks
he's.
ago.
I don't know if he still is.
16 weeks out, 6 weeks ago. Start of prep. No, he's not doing it by the sounds of it. If he posts about 6.
Why?
Oh,
Why?
no. Wait. It said versus 7 weeks out. I think it
Yeah,
said
that's what I
versus 7
thought.
weeks
That's
out.
what I thought. Yeah.
Sorry, I
He's
didn't
on the
finish it.
poster, but as we know,
Okay.
that doesn't mean shit to anybody anymore. Once you say you're going, once you say you're going to do something, I mean, I guess we can just forget about it. It's whatever.
Ewood is in it. Ewood is in.
That's a good guy right there.
Eric
Underrated.
Wood.
Yes.
I agree. He's got such a big structure, so he's never as impressive pre-show.
You know what else is big?
What? Eric's Wood?
His love for bodybuilding.
Yes.
You know he's having a baby.
Really?
Just announced
Congratulations,
today.
Eric Wood.
Let's see. He was at the New York Pro. I want a video because there is a video. Um,
It's so funny how much bigger he looks in person. If he ever looks like mental in his pre-contest pictures, where like he looks like big, then I'll be like, oh, we're in trouble. Because on stage, he just like as you can see, he's just a thick boy.
I think he has all the tools to be really good.
He's not short either. He sort of looks like he's short, but he's not.
Calling him, is that an insult? Yeah, you look like you're short, but I mean, you're not really, I guess.
No, when you're individually, like, wait, go up. There's some comparisons up. There's some comparisons up with other guys. I want to see how tall he is because I think he's next to Joe Seaman. That's him and his wife, maybe.
I'm gonna
Or
like
girlfriend.
it, and then he's gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Scrolled back and like one photo of me and my girl. Project bodybuilding.
Talking about
there,
this.
there. Yes. It's hard to tell. Actually, that's very distorted.
This
the way
is
it's taken.
Jose
He's tall.
Jose Kefton and Max Charles. Am I wrong? I know this is Max Charles, but this is
You're
Jose
right.
Kefton.
But Max Charles is standing like a foot closer to the camera. So I think
Yeah,
Jose
he should be
Joseph
banned from
Kefton.
competing for standing that far away from the line.
Yeah. And Joe Seaman's ahead of Eric Wood there too. So I think Eric Wood is taller than Joe Seaman, but I don't know how tall he is. But Joseph Kefton, I think, is like, what,
I
he's
think
around
it's
like 5'11 or
Yosef.
something? Joseph?
Um, but this guy Eric is very complete. But I mean, this is the lineup to end all lineups. So
Yeah.
if he is doing it, there's only so much one of his Actually, you know what? I think really, if he is on and doesn't have the normal soft hams and glutes, I
Seventh?
I think he could take on a guy or two. And you know who I think it'd be if it would be anybody,
Who?
Bonac or Vito,
I don't think
because
he's there yet.
because Vito is one of the least complete guys in the lineup. Crazy poses, but some of them are just not that good.
I know what you're
Eric
saying, but I just
Eric Wood is a very complete physique. But yeah, I don't think not I don't think he will be beating them, but I think he and Bonac is never off, so I mean that'd be very hard to do. But this is
one
a very
thing. Wait,
complete physique.
one thing. I don't know if I brought it up on the podcast we did the other day,
That wasn't a
and if
podcast.
part of your series, your Pittsburgh Pro preview series. Um, there you go. Take that. But I didn't mention Good Vito. Like he competed versus Tonio Burton and was it
Raphael.
Raphael Brandau?
Yeah.
Um, a couple of weeks prior at the Arnold Classic South America and placed third. And then he goes on to nearly beat Martin Fitzwater weeks later.
We
And I
debunked
think
this
we
myth.
might see, and I actually said my prejudging wrap up of that show, I said, could Good Vito be actually winning this show? Because I thought he looked really good, and I thought maybe he was actually overlooked slightly there, and I thought he could have won that show. And then he improved dramatically, plus was under different lighting, And I think that really,
He'll be better
uh,
at this year's Pittsburgh. That was definitely a warm up show he did this year. Definitely.
yeah. So we see good Vito's best of all time. I think that's going to be, hard to miss. You know,
Xavier, he is missing things a lot. A lot. It's an incomplete physique. And yes, the front
it's like a
double.
smoothed out weird video or something. Like, look at it. It's like it's out of focus or something.
No, it's not. It is a little bit like filtered though. It's all we have.
But see how it's got a blur to it? Like it's got a slight. It's
No,
like it's
I
not
don't
fully
see
in
that.
focus. See how look at the stage at the bottom. It's like focused a bit ahead or something.
Hmm. Well, if that's not good enough for you, here's like the raw footage.
See, that's so impressive. And with the latest updates too, he looks way harder, tight waist. And that could show up
Take away
someone
his
like
front
Nick
double.
Walker. Well, it posed his front lats very differently. Like, do you reckon he will have fixed that? Because
No.
he looks so ridiculous hitting it. Surely they see that. You think as Chris Aceto, you'd go, hey, Vitali, translate this to you. Your front lat spread is fucked. Please fix it and send me an update where it's
Yeah,
not fucked.
Chris Aceto coaches Andrew Jacked and Ramon Dino too, and both those guys are shit posers.
I know, but it's such an obvious one to me. Like, who does good Vito train under? Do you know?
That Fabio guy, or is it Fabio? I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
guy, this guy,
I got to say though in
Fabricio,
that video as
Fabricio.
well. Yeah, I hope he does some posing with him because there's some obvious fixes there that drive me insane.
He spent
But
all of his
when
time on the
he,
front double, and that's it.
oh, perfect.
It is. It is.
Yes, it's very good. That could be. Do you think that's the best front double in the world?
William Martins.
Calm down.
Okay, okay. I'm trying to pick a brother up, and you're just here insulting both of us. I think,
Hater.
I think.
Oh wait, Jose Raymond, Vito, and Lunsford have the best front double in the world. Can't wait to see this. Andrew
I would.
Jacks, maybe.
I think Andrew has the best front lat. I don't think he has the best front double. I think this is the best front double with the
I
vacuum.
like Andrew's front double more than his front lat
Well,
when he's on,
to be fair, you probably see more of his rear than his front.
right?
No, but I think this is just Derek with arms.
And tighter, like
How so? The waist or
oh
overall
through the
drive?
biceps, like
Right.
through the
That's
biceps is
yeah.
definitely tighter.
Derek has these. I call them like cookie dough arms. You know, like those tubes of cookie dough that you buy, or like tubes of sausage. That's literally what his arms remind me of. They're like soft to the touch. You know.
That's why I think this is better. Like I think
Yeah.
just for hardness because it is a factor in my pose. Like Derek is freaky and freaks you out on that front double. Especially when he won his first Olympia, it was just so like, or when he was second, I can't even remember, but when he just opened up, I think it was when he's second, he just opened up and everyone's like, because it's just so shocking to see such a crazy taper.
I mean, why does
I don't know if there's,
Martin has better arms than Derek in this shot? And that's like one of Martin's only weak areas.
yeah, that is the weakness on Derek's front double. It is like a beautiful pose and it is like shockingly insane. And we get sort of treated because there are a fair few good front doubles right now. Like Martin's is very good. But Andrew Jacks is very good.
He also doesn't
Vito's
have the
is very
dryness
good.
from the front. Derek is peeled from the back, but I think Vito, at least through most of the body, until you get to the chest, he'll be drier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's looking hard here. So I'd
But
love to see a side chest.
but
But
this yeah, exactly. Like grow up, Xavier. This is one shot.
hey, look at Vito in the background there. You can sort of see it like because of the reflection, you can see it from like a further distance away where it's more looks more not from the bottom angle. If that makes sense. Yeah. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes me want to
You get to
bust.
see yeah, it's a bit more of a balanced angle, which maybe doesn't look quite as impressive because that bottom angle looks just wild. But still, yeah, regardless, it's impressive.
Go, that's him with
Kamal
Kamal
has got a
Al-Garni.
big beard. That
He's
is a
coming.
big beard on Kamal.
Kamal's coming back for real.
Is he?
You don't look like that at 50 without trying.
Yeah, exactly.
He's training again. We talked like last year or something like that. I can't remember.
You and Kamal?
Yeah. I like Kamal. Big fan. So
Me too.
let's take a look at this. This is I mean, this is not beating Martin. This is not beating Bonac. This is not beating Crizzo. This is not beating Nick Walker. This is not beating
This is the
Derek Lunsford.
junkiest lighting. It is. Trust me. On this stream that I watched, because I watched all the competitors, you can tell who was in good condition. And Good Vito was in good condition.
Nothing
I
to
think
do
his
with
conditioning
condition.
was underrated. And I think this is a slight on him, this photo, because it makes him look so much softer than he
This
is. But
pose is
I
a
agree
slight
he
on
has
the
to be
front
hard.
double that he has. Everyone needs to look past. Heed my warning when you're making your predictions out there. There is more to a physique than a front double, even if it's the best in the world.
What about an ab and thigh? Because he's winning the ab and thigh too. I don't think anyone beats him on the ab and thigh.
Martin,
No way. Nah. Nah. Martin
okay.
beats him on the back double.
Back
Probably the
lat
rear
spread.
lat spread.
Yeah.
Martin on the side chest.
Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. If Nick Walker somehow reverses course, he would have a better ab and thigh than Good Vito.
No.
He would have to really reverse course.
Good Vito's good. Yeah.
You're right.
No,
Good
I didn't
Vito's
think
pretty good.
any.
You know what? I'll give it to you.
Version.
I'll give it
No
to you.
version of Nick Walker's ab and thigh would beat Good Vito's. Not even from this show. Like, it is good. Like, and when you see him hit his rear shots as well, I think that Good Vito, even though he's not a tall guy, he looks big in the videos, you know, like he's very, very wide, like Jay Cutler, you know?
I hate how
And
he's
that,
walking.
yeah, his legs are big. Like, his legs are, look at ab and thigh. It's
I can't pause it.
ridiculous.
That most muscular has no depth. No depth.
But see how he hits it quick and it actually looks quite decent still. But yeah, it's his crab isn't his strong suit. But in movement,
neither is
I
his
think
hands
Good Vito's-
clasped. Neither is his.
Oh, you just clicked off it just as he's hitting the back shots. And
Oh yeah, you want those, don't you?
yeah, I had to see the back, you know, see the badonk.
Yeah. What are we going to see? Oh, he has shredded glutes. Okay.
No, you'll see the hamstrings, glutes are good, but also the back looks quite impressive in the entirety of the pose.
Okay. You know what's crazy? Everyone in the show is known for bringing shredded glutes and hams. Martin, Nick, Derek. And you know what they all also bring? Great backs. Good Vito's back won't beat Bonac's.
But look at this shot though. Look at like those hammies and glutes are hard, and look at the width on the dude. Like that is still a massive human. You know what I mean? Like there isn't the depth in the back. I agree, but like that rear lat spread is fucking huge.
It does
Like,
lack a lot of depth. Someone brought
It
this up in
does
the
like
comment
depth,
section.
but big boy. You know,
I mean, I guess.
old school Marumba news. Marumba. It's a random name for a channel, hey?
Yo, you just don't understand. Okay. Not the best crab either. Great legs, okay abs.
That's a pretty good most muscular.
Oh, I said
Now,
crab. I meant hands together.
Think about Derek Lunsford when he won the Olympia.
Derek Lunsford's most muscular is shit.
I think that beats Derek Lunsford's most muscular.
I don't
think
know
that
though.
his front double beats Derek Lunsford.
His
which is
front double,
crazy.
yeah. Okay.
Front lat, I think Derek wins.
Derek would win the
Side
most.
chest, Derek wins.
I don't know if he'd win, but the thing is, if they both lack depth, why not just go with Derek, who's more thick overall? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think Derek gets the win over like Good Vito. I think he gets the win over Nick Walker
This is pretty
as well.
bad, though.
But yeah, it's a rough shot for him, you know. But Derek brings the energy in that one, and you can sort of sometimes get away with the most muscular.
The energy. What are we going to get a Geiger counter out on screen? Tyler's going to hold up. Tyler's going to hold up some fucking voltage meter, and is going to be like, "Yeah, I'm really feeling. Derek, you're just electric tonight. Meet me in my hotel room after this."
As soon as they hit the most muscular, people's Apple Watches will be going off saying it's reached 80 decibels. Staying in this environment too long can cause hearing loss or hearing
That's
damage.
insane. He brings
As
the
soon as Derek
energy
hits
in
that
this
most
shot.
muscular, the energy in the building will go up.
I would actually argue
People's
Vito
phones
brings
will
better
start-
energy.
I think all of them combined will bring such energy.
Nick
It'll just be
Walker.
energy.
Nick Walker may not have the energy. He's going to have the aura.
Okay, well, I'm giving Derek points for energy, energy
That's
points.
crazy.
Uh,
You're losing all credibility.
Look at that quad. That is
You're right.
so ridiculous. And I think when people see that, think about if he's harder than this, those strong points in terms of conditioning are going to be even stronger. So if his glutes and hammies can be the hardest in the show, well, along the glutes aren't going to be any harder than Derek's, I don't think, but just say that on par with Derek, the hammies are even drier. The back is, the size is somewhat comparable. I don't know. I think I'm changing my prediction. Good Vito is making me a solid half bar.
You are insane. I'm trying to talk you out of destruction here. Where are you? Okay.
I'm I'm edging more towards the cliff, and I'm gonna make some bold predictions.
And they're not even bold. I was going to make some bold predictions today, but I wasn't going to make retarded predictions. That's insane. Good Vito in like third?
I'm who said third?
Okay, we'll wait. Let's talk about the next guy.
Okay.
We'll go to someone. If Good Vito probably is the most hyped guy going into this. That doesn't necessarily deserve it, just because like this is like really his first big test. Like this is an Olympia caliber lineup. He just got qualified for the Olympia this year. Yeah, he faced Martin last year, but neither of them were qualified last year. But a guy that's like on the low lights, not even really for a bad reason, is Bonac. No video? Here we go. Bonac is going to be Bonac. Where does that end up?
I don't think it ends up in the top three. He could contend any spot after that, maybe. I just don't like some people saying he could be top three. And look, like based on previous performance, like could he beat a Martin? Yes, if Martin's off. You know what I mean? Like it can happen. Those things can happen, and he's consistent as well. So those
Yeah.
things can happen. Do I think they do happen? Probably not, but do I think he gets one of those guys in the top five, like just someone who just misses their peak or something like that?
He's beaten Crizzle
Probably.
before.
Yeah, like I
Off
would say,
Crizzle.
like probably he'll get one of them just on like averages,
Vito.
but I'm not going to predict it because I don't know which one he might get. So if I had to guess, I'd say yeah, he'll get one, but could all these guys beat him as well? Yeah, definitely fail. But it's so much like he's like a Dexter from back in the day. Like depends who comes in on. Like he's going to fall, ahead of those guys if they miss it, and he'll fall behind if they don't miss it.
Yeah,
That's just how I feel about it.
I think this is why people really aren't talking about him because he's like, we know roughly what we're going to get more than likely.
Yeah.
It's just the chips fall where they may. That's really all I could say about it. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
But let's talk about my dark horse of the show. Not this good Vito stuff.
Well, he's going to type in Michelle Obama then.
yeah, he would have to compete in the men's divisions. Oh man, I hate that so much. Like I get it. That dude is probably a dude, but like there are bigger fish to fry. Like Israel.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about something a little more interesting.
A little less likely to get you demonetized.
True. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, guess what? I listened to the Ron Harris, Mikhail Krizo live interview today. And Mikhail Krizo says he's using less gear.
How disappointing.
He's eating less food and using less gear. So
The rebound
he's
is incredible.
Yeah, I know. He looks awesome. Like sometimes, like it's honestly sometimes when guys like lessen their gear, they just look healthier. Their bodies just like come alive because they've used maybe so much in the past. So
Bro. Compare that to good Vito.
yeah, Krizo wins the side chest.
Yo, what is this? What is this?
Dude's excited.
I mean, yo, how do you feel about
That
this?
is a random machine.
How do you feel? I don't know how I feel about this loading on the Smith machine here.
What's the purpose of putting it on top versus the sides? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, because it's already a big ass machine. Like having the bar extended a little bit further so you can put your plates on really doesn't change anything. Like it's already huge. It's already taking up a lot of space in the gym. So I mean, really,
Uh,
there is no point to this.
I wonder if it feels. I suppose like you don't get the like sometimes Smith machines have is that little bit of a rock from side to side. Like
Yeah.
this would be more like the weight would just be like and feel very solid that way. But sometimes it feels like I don't know. Like sometimes it's good to have that little bit of stabilization, but you have to
Hmm.
do. But maybe because his shoulder, it's a good one for him.
I can't believe this is how his delts look post delt operation. This is
Yeah,
the
it's
one.
wild.
This is the one. You can tell it's like a little like less detailed, maybe a little bit more inflamed, but
It don't matter.
it doesn't matter now.
I don't think it will anyway.
This is a little bit of this is around after surgery. So this is sometime post op. I can't see. This is
It's
January.
1 month of training after.
This is what he looked like. Oh, and then this.
Oh, okay. So this is April. So
Oh, okay. So this is a little bit
1 month after training.
little bit of training, and then this is 3 months. This is what he did in 3 months.
And that's a cycle plus some more training.
Samir gives it his seal of approval. I only worry about the presentation. Good advice, Samir. That is one thing you have to worry about with Crizzo is the posing. But
Yeah.
as we've learned from Xavier, you can have shit posing and still win the Pittsburgh Pro apparently because Good Vito's going to win. So I don't think
I
it'll be
never said
too
that.
much of an issue for Crizzo.
Yeah, damn. Do you think that because obviously Martin and Good Vito, whether you agree or not, were close on the scorecards, and judges had them winning. So, and the show was around the same time of year, so more likely to have the same set of judges at Pittsburgh. So, do you think that because Good Vito decided to bypass trying to qualify for last year's Olympia and he just went off season and just, he didn't have that Olympia prep, and then Martin did that other prep as well, to beat C-Bum. Do you think that Good Vito will be fresher than Martin?
You're trying to justify to me freshness and all this. How about this? Martin is going to be more complete and thicker and more muscular than Good Vito. I don't care about if he's fresh. Martin is demolishing Good Vito.
I love Martin. I was going to predict Martin to win. That's how close it is. Like, I was going to predict Martin to win. I was going to predict Good Vito to win. I was going to predict Derek to win.
Oh, here's a little bit of Martin right here.
That's not Martin.
Oh.
Oh.
Whoops.
What's wrong with you?
Whoops. Oh. Okay, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Let's
Is this Martin's page or is this
it was his tag. It was his tag.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know how you get impressed by Good Vito, but then not get impressed with Mikhail
I'm
Crizzo.
impressed. I'm impressed.
I'm creaming my
consider putting
jeans over here.
Crizzo said that he's aiming for top 5.
That's humble. That's crazy.
And I said, do you think you can win? And he laughed and said no.
That's, Crizzo is my favorite bodybuilder with Martin Fitzwater right now. Favorite current bodybuilders.
He's very likable. He actually is very likable. Like,
Do you
I actually
remember-
really like Crizzo.
He did an Olympia interview, and he's working on his English, but someone said, this is a year or two ago. Yeah, it would have been 2 years ago. And the reporter asked, what day, or like, how
I was
often
watching that live.
how often do you train? And he said, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because he thought she said, well, what day did you get here? Because I think she was like,
Yeah.
how many days a week do you train?
Yeah. It was so funny. And then she didn't even correct it. She goes, all right. That's how yeah,
That
just went with
good
it.
old Tuesday split,
Yeah. I train Tuesdays.
I'll tell you what, Giles, he loves Crizzo. He's in and I trust Giles' judgment.
Yeah. He loves his stripy delts.
Yeah, that's what he calls them, stripy delts, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like Giles should put that on a t-shirt if I had something like that. Well, actually, I do have something like that revealed. Maybe I should put revealed on a
I need
t-shirt.
to clip that sound because I always say, now it's time to reveal the final scores in my videos. I need to clip that sound.
Just clip it and go revealed.
Exactly. Yo, Tyler is kind of looking thick over there.
Big boy Tyler. Yeah, Tyler's tanned.
He is
Tyler is pretty
tanned.
much what you want to look like to get women, I think. But
Yeah,
he's got
but
a
he's a
wife.
little autistic.
No, he's not.
But he's got money.
I feel like everyone's autistic these days. Everyone's on the spectrum.
I mean, Tyler's a good-looking dude. Very good facial harmony, but I think he's a little shorter.
He doesn't look that short there.
Josema's like 5'9", 5'8", so yeah. I mean, Tyler's my
He's probably
height.
5'8".
You do not want to be my height. I mean, it's just really there's no point in waking up every day besides maybe to do a podcast with someone. And I'm saying that truthfully, but he's a good-looking guy, and when he stands on the money, that gets him somewhere. That gets him somewhere.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind looking like Tyler.
Well, he has one of the former top bikini competitors as a wife, so he's doing
Yeah.
he's doing bits. He's doing bits.
Wow. Man, what a guy. I wish I was Tyler Mannion. But anyway.
He's actually one guy that I was like, we used to be like, I'm like, that'd be a good guy to be,
Yeah. Young, tan, handsome, rich. I mean,
looks good in a suit.
the only guy
Just
I'd
to
want to
do
be
fun
more.
shit all the time.
The only guy
He
I'd
works
want to be
hard, though.
more is
You're going straight to hell.
I'm gonna edit that a little bit there.
Yeah, change that.
I'm keeping it in.
No, take it out.
I'm gonna
Timestamp it.
let's see.
45. Well, 12:45.
I don't know what time I started the thing.
The thing. Yeah, you were like half an hour late, so go off about
Fuck
30
off.
minutes buffed. You were.
Who's next? I think it's the top guys now. Yep. Time for the big dogs. Let's start with Martin here.
D-Lund. Okay.
This is because of this is like everyone's predicted top three. Some mix of Martin, Nick, and Derek. We're starting with Martin because there's not a lot to talk about. I mean, like this is it. This is what you get.
Are these new photos?
I
It says 72 hours left, so I
But
assume.
this is in Texas, no?
Is it? I don't know what gym this is.
I guess I don't really know. It looked like Metroflex, but I guess he'd be a lot more wet if he was training in Metroflex.
Yeah, that doesn't look like Metroflex to me. That looks like a local gym in Pittsburgh.
A local haunt.
Wait, I'm going to chat GBT this and say, do you know what gym this is in?
You are so gay. What? I'm going to
love
chat
ChatGPT,
GPT the gym.
I am. If I find it, you can suck my gack.
Okay, bro. But I can't say what I just said.
Okay. Screenshotting this and then asking what gym it's in. Where do you predict it is? In Pitts?
Yes.
I'll probably get this.
It
wrong
looks
anyway.
it looks a little dingy and dirty, like Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Have you been to Pittsburgh?
Fuck no. The only place I want to visit less in Pennsylvania is Philadelphia. And you know why I hate Philadelphia.
I'm not gonna ask.
I wasn't really going to answer.
Okay, good.
People can infer. So did your chat GPT go well, or you just
It went really bad.
You just
It says
yanking
this
my
gym
chain?
photos appears to be Gold's Gym, Venice, California.
Bruh. Okay. But I mean, not a whole lot to talk about, so we'll just save this for like in conjunction with everyone else. But
Yeah.
someone that has been updating us faithfully, Nick the Brick Talker Walker.
Wait. It says it definitely looks like the original Metro Flex Gym, Pittsburgh, previously known as Iron City Gym.
So I was technically correct.
Then it says Pittsburgh Union Fitness or the Muscle Gym. But I said gyms in Pittsburgh. Then it says This definitely looks. I mean, it says this is actually the Mecca Gym in Pittsburgh, PA, known as the Old School Gym Pittsburgh.
Okay, so when you're done beating your AI off, can we talk about Nick Walker?
We can.
Oh, look at that gut. Look at that gut. Did you see that?
He's chilling. Let him chill. He probably had a solid meal. Might
Eyes
be a high carb
glued,
day.
eyes glued, abs glued to the stomach, to the spine. Always.
I tell you what, I hate training in glasses. Do you train in glasses?
Yeah.
Oh man, I hate it.
Sometimes they
Can
fog
you
up.
get fogged up?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. Man, no way. Hate training glasses.
Sometimes I don't really notice it actually. No.
If Nick nails it, I think Nick, places higher than I might predict him. But it's so tough. I don't know. Like he could, yeah, he theoretically could win it, like if Derek misses his peak. Like we don't know how they'll all come in, but he's got that sort of physique that he can just out freak people.
Okay.
And if his waist comes in like that, like he looks pretty awesome.
The reason predictions are always so messed up is because people get their conceptions in the way, their misconceptions. You don't know who Nick Walker is. You've never seen him before in your life. Does this beat Derek? He's not known for the waist. He appears on a pro stage one day next to Derek. Does this beat Derek Lunsford?
It has a chance to, yeah, but
Okay, that's not what I asked.
I don't think so. Like seeing that. I don't think so.
This is what worries me. The waistline is tight, but like, it's just the harmony. It's just not there.
I wish the legs they came out from the hips. You see how they go down and then it pops out?
Yes.
I mean, he's got that sweep happening and it is a rough angle for the legs. Like if they took that from a lower angle, like they always take the photos from here. They should take it from a lower angle because we never see the photos from a lower angle.
You're encouraging misleading the public. What kind of terrible person are you?
I want to see the same angle as good Vito shot.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Someone sitting on
someone
their
needs to
ass or sitting down
Photoshop
taking photos.
Nick's quad sweep all the way to the hip.
It would just look so sick.
Is that
It's
a
so
Fender TV
unfortunate.
shirt? T-shirt?
It is.
Oh,
You like it? You've got one as well?
no, I don't. I have my Fender Stratocaster
have-
here.
The t-shirt's way cheaper, bro. And you can just pretend you've got one. See? Do you like it?
Wow.
That's something on the back.
Wow.
No,
I didn't know
it's
you I didn't know you were into that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's the equivalency of someone like wearing a basketball jersey and they don't even know who they're wearing, like on the back.
That's
I don't know
gay.
whose numbers on
They
them.
wear it as like a fashion sense, like they'll wear a LeBron jersey or maybe Steph Curry because the colors are nice. I mean,
Yeah.
white,
I've
blue,
got
and
I've
gold
got
looks
jerseys.
good. Yeah, you
I've got
would.
but I was a Cavs fan from the like early days.
Well, you can wear a Cavs jersey with anything. I mean, the black and the red, it looks pretty good. You can just
I
throw
don't
that
even have
on.
the black and the red. I've got other ones.
What's the other one? White and red?
I'll show you the ones I've got. Hold on.
Oh, and then he's gone. Yeah, so I don't know. This guy is smoking straight up crack about good Vito. I'll tell you what. This is like some of the most insane cope for someone. See, you gotta leave it alone. You gotta when you're making predictions, you can't be caught up in like, oh, I like this guy. I like this man. This man is going to be placing high in my predictions. That's dumb. That's illogical.
This one says Johnson on my back.
Like Magic Johnson.
No. Like what's his name? Played for Charlotte Hornets. Fuck, what's his name?
No, I haven't watched the NBA
Maybe
in years.
My God, that's bad. Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson.
Never heard of her.
But I like that it says Johnson on the back. This is a LeBron one, but if LeBron gets caught up in the Diddy case, I'm burning all of these and filming it.
What if I got caught up in the Diddy case?
I would I don't know. I would chastise you on social media.
Give you a stern talking to and a wagging of the finger. Wow, you're a real fan.
But
You're
yeah,
s-
that was given to me, that one, by Luke Fuller, my friend, because he
oh,
thought it
shout out
looked a
to
bit
Luke
gay.
Fuller, everybody. Can't believe
Luke
you
Fuller,
just
yep,
doxed your friend like that.
yep. A good man, a good man.
Okay, so here's the thing with Nick Walker. He's a physique that changes a lot, for better or for worse. You have a package like the 2022 Mr. Olympia, which is bursting full, still very shredded, okay waistline. In my opinion, was his best version ever. Then you have the 2023 Arnold Classic, a lot more streamlined, but somehow he got even more shredded, even more detailed. Doesn't have
Mm.
the freak factor though. Then you have the 2024 New York Pro, where you have kind of a blown out waist, but it's the biggest physique he's ever brought.
Yeah,
So it looks to me, let me know what you think about this. It looks to me that he's trying to backtrack. Like he looks ultra shredded in a lot of these shots. And he looks like he is chasing a smaller waistline. But it seems to me that maybe it comes at the cost of a little bit of a freak factor. Now, me personally, I think Nick Walker's best versions are the freakiest ones, as long as the waist is okay. So like 2022 Olympia, that's why it just works for him. 2023 Arnold was good, should have beaten Samson, but 2022 where he's bringing the freak factor, that's his best version. So, is it? Do you one think he is chasing a more streamlined version? Two, if he is, do you think that's the right choice?
I think he just has to chase the best package, and it's like the boring answer, but I think these guys sometimes go too far one way or the other. Like I think that somewhere between that Olympia version and something a little tiny bit more crisp on top of that, with doing the techniques to pull him a waist, I think that's the smartest way to go about it. Now, I asked ChatGPT, how will the placings of the Pittsburgh Pro 2025 most likely play out in terms of placings? Well, I said placings twice. And I said, here's the competitors list. Do you care to venture a guess of
Martin,
what it predicted? No, it predicted Derek to win.
are you insane? Why are you
Says
asking Chat GPT?
says clear favorite unless he's off. His size and conditioning are elite. But it says Nick Walker, always dangerous, known for his freak factor and hard conditioning, can push Lunsford if he's sharp. Then it says William Bonac in third, a bit past his peak, but still a seasoned pro with great muscle density and shape. Then it says Mikhail Krizanek, which I think you'd like that prediction in the top four. Huge size and shape. If conditioning is on point, he can surprise. Vitaly Golnikov in fifth, fast rising talent with crazy aesthetics and symmetry. And
Martin,
it says Martin Fitzwater in sixth, improving every year, big and conditioned, could crack the top five if some favorites slip. Hater on Martin.
yeah,
Then it
that's
says
just not
Marcelo
right.
Pedro de Cruz, great lines and fan favorite, but needs top tier conditioning to move higher. Then it says Pavel Baron in eighth. It says good size and structure, typically strong, but not quite top tier yet in this lineup. Then it says Justin Musial, solid pro, good balance, but may lack the sheer freak factor of others here. Then it says Vincenzo Massoni, big frame, improving, but still chasing polish to challenge for top five. And then it has some other. It left Ron Gordon out of the top 10.
Oh, I forgot he's doing that.
Yeah.
He could run the
Ronald
show.
Golden, Joe Ballinger. So it says keynotes for top two, Lunsford and Walker are really in a class of their own unless one of them is way off. Watch Krizanek and Ugolnikov. They're rising stars that could shake things up. Conditioning on show day can always reshuffle things, but that's the most realistic outlook as of now. Imagine if this is right.
Imagine.
I'm gonna post that. Okay.
Okay,
thanks, thanks for that.
what do you think about this? You give me your winners. I don't want any of your sass. I don't want any of your extra curriculars. Give me your winners with 2024 Nick Walker versus 2025 Derek. Rapid fire.
Okay, so front double. I'd say this is size like bowls a little bit. Sorry, Superset Man.
Yeah,
But
I
I'd
don't
say
think
Derek.
so. Derek is tiny in terms of height. In terms of height.
Yeah, but he's just looks too
Okay,
small
yeah,
compared to Nick
that's an
Walker
easy
there.
one.
Yeah, I just think this is size to the advantage of Nick Walker. But
Yeah, maybe a little.
Derek,
For sure.
Easy,
For
easy
sure.
peasy.
Okay, this is
And
an
they're
interesting
easy
one.
wins, those ones. See, that's close. I would say Derek. I think the side
That's
leg's just so
crazy.
impressive. Look at the side leg. The arms are good.
What is
Nick
it with
Walker's
you
midsection.
and like anytime there's something important in a pose, it's like, okay, but what about the other things that aren't as important? Like, yeah, I get it. There's enough of
What
it.
about the chest? Derek has lines in his chest there. He's got big arms. He's got,
He does. He does. I'm not saying Derek doesn't win, but like it wouldn't be because of the side leg.
I'd
You're
say all the poses so far have been easy.
okay. Oh, I wouldn't call this one easy. Nick's a tank.
I know he's a tank, but just this package wasn't it for
Well,
him.
take a look
I
at
will
this
say
sizing. Take a look at
it is making
this.
it is making his yeah, see that's better. That's better sizing, I'd say. Still not perfect. I still think Derek's a little bit taller.
No, he's not. No, he is not. Derek's
So
head.
that side leg is to me there is dominant, and I like you've got to go off like aesthetics and clean lines as well. Like even though the side chest is a quite a bit of a muscle pose, and I will say as well, Nick just in terms of the lighting on his rear delts and tricep does make him not, and on the other delt, it just makes him not quite look as big as he actually is. Derek gets a little bit of that on one side with the lighting there in the background, but yeah, I'd say, yeah, Derek. Derek's winning all of these so far. I can't believe Superset Man gave the side chest to
I
Nick in
can.
that one.
But you'd give the front rear double to Derek, of course.
Yep.
Rear lat
Real
spread?
that to Derek. Yeah,
That's
easy.
insane. I wouldn't do
The
that.
3D
Okay.
look, the glutes, the hammy. I think everything looks cleaner,
Nick
you know?
Walker has the best hamstrings of all time.
The best hamstrings of all time. I disagree. I just think though,
Who?
like I'm
Who's
not just talking
better?
about the
Who's better?
hamstrings. Just look at how clean from a waist down Derek is. I think Derek looks better from a waist down.
Who
I'd
has
say
better?
the
Okay,
adductors.
maybe overall,
Much bigger.
Derek wins the lower body. Maybe overall hamstrings. Nick Walker has the best hamstrings ever.
Yeah, his hamstrings pop a little bit more.
Better
Derek's
than
is still-
Branch. Better than Phil.
I'd say the lighting, yeah, does advantage Derek here, so it does make him look drier.
His
but
photo
I
is
still think he's
sharpened.
drier than Nick
This is
Walker.
Gilco Productions footage. This is sharpened. This is a sharpened photo.
Yeah, just slightly, you can tell. Still very dry though. We'll see him at another.
Okay, so we'll put
Shows
that
from
down for Derek as well.
Yeah.
Side tricep. If you give this one to Derek, you're a fool.
I give it to Derek, man. Those versions, I give it to Derek. I don't care if I'm a fool. Do not care.
Bro, what? You'd give that to Derek soggy ass?
Yeah, because the way he's hitting the pose, like Nick Walker's like delts forward, like it's just.
This is
I get he's very thick.
this
and
is
I
a bad
get-
angle for
guess
Nick.
This is much.
This is taken off to the side.
I'm just going off the photos, so
Come on.
it's close. But
Nick Walker's beating
I
it in
like-
the midsection, the pecs, the tricep.
yeah, I get.
It holds it close in the side leg.
I just prefer the way Derek's hitting it and the aesthetics and the cleanness to the side leg.
Bro. Okay. I'm interested to hear about this next pose. Abs and thighs. This is Nick's works version. You cannot tell me you're giving this to Derek.
I give that to Derek.
What in the hell are you talking about?
Man, that's an aesthetic pose. That is,
Oh yeah,
Two up
Derek
and
is
down
so
there from Nick
aesthetic.
dude.
Not
I think that's not bad from
not
Derek.
only-
I mean,
Okay, it is the abs and thighs pose. Nick has a stomach. He looks like a beetle. Legs are shredded and complete. Abs are actually there despite them being a little bloated. Derek literally can't even be bothered to bring abs in the shot. This is not.
I feel like you focus too much on the muscle, but the legs, yeah, Derek wins. The
Okay.
midsection, yes, it's close, but look at the taper. Like the lats on Derek that goes into the waist, then goes out at the legs. There's an X frame there on Derek. And I just don't think it's
Taper
there
is
as much
part of
on
it.
Nick.
Taper is part of it. It's close because Nick isn't great. This is a very small win for him, but it's a win. He is bringing abs and thighs.
Yeah, but I don't like the pose. I don't like it.
Everyone
I'm
in the
sorry.
comments, please tell go to Xavier's DMs on Instagram and tell him what a fool he's being for some of the worst takes I've ever heard.
Okay. Let's go to the most muscular.
Derek
I
winning
might
the
give Nick
abs
a
and
shot.
thighs. Maybe when he does that twisting one, but I don't really think that counts too
Still part of
much.
it.
Yeah, maybe. You
And
can't
look
give.
at
You cannot
the
give that to
initial most
Derek.
muscular was much look in movement he looks better.
Okay,
But
we'll
I
have to go
will
with the
say
mo-
I give Nick that one. So I'd say what
You can. You
7-1.
can't even tell me that's close.
Not that one. Yeah, you can see there. Yeah, Nick is winning it. But 7-1 based on those packages. But that was
Holy
an all-time
shit!
best Derek versus a not all-time best Nick Walker either.
Correct. That is why I wanted to do this one first. Let's work a little bit backwards, shall we?
Okay.
2023 Nick Walker. So the smallest Nick Walker versus Derek Lunsford. Oh, he started already. Okay. Front double still to Nick, no?
Much closer.
Yeah, but still to Derek.
Yeah.
Okay. Front lat spread is going to go to Derek as well. Nick was
Much
even
closer.
worse. Nick was even worse back in the day. He can at least pull out his lats now, which is a good thing.
Yeah, that's Derek.
Side chest, I think I did this comparison. I couldn't give it to Nick. He lost. He was very shredded, but lost too much of the size. You know.
Yeah, I give that to Derek.
Don't be afraid to give the rear double to Nick. I think in a post
See,
like
Nick is much closer there, but I think Derek has one of the best back doubles of
yeah.
all time.
Okay, that's
Still give it to Derek. But like you said, like the pose, this is much, much closer. I still give that to Derek just on
I
that
would with this
bubbliness, like
version.
traps run down. Yeah.
Yeah, I would with this version. Okay. You're still giving this to Lunsford? The abs,
Uh,
man. The abs. Look. Nick looks like a Dorito. You got you got the squareness across the shoulders, and it tapers down into the waist. Derek has that same effect, but not to the level of exaggeration that Nick has.
I'd say very close, but I still give it to Derek, man.
Oh,
Like I've got to be honest.
jeez, that's crazy. Okay, you cannot tell me Nick loses the abs and thighs this time around. You simply can't.
Okay, I'll give that to Nick. I'll give
I'll
that to Nick.
for posterity. For posterity. Nick's 2023 abs and thighs, I stand by it. It was good. It was great, actually. I think when Nick Walker is on with his waistline, it's a great pose for him, actually. Oh, I didn't do 2023 Nick.
It
Maybe
goes
I
to
did.
show that the difference of the ab and
Nick.
thigh between New York last year and a couple of years ago at the Arnold.
Okay, to be fair, this is 2024 Olympia, Derek, so this video predates the Arnold version. But I think his abs are actually a little bit more defined at the Olympia because of his posing. It's probably an
Yeah,
overall, you would probably argue it's an overall worse pose because he's crunching down and the stomach is wider, so you get less of the taper, but you get more abs. You know what I'm saying?
he needs to try to nail something between those two. This one because he's too
But
far over there, and
but just take Nick for example.
yeah, Nick wins that one.
Okay. And then the most muscular.
Yeah, I'd
I,
give it to Nick.
okay. Okay, so it goes from 7-1 in our first one to 2-6 in our second one.
Yeah,
That's wild. Okay, so he needs to bring something. Would you say Nick Walker needs to bring something, like you said, chasing the best version? And I would say that's the 2022 Olympia. What can he do with that
I'd say
version?
between that and the 2022 Olympia, what can he do? I don't think he beats Derek's Arnold version. Still, I
Even
just
with
think
his
that
best
Derek's
version. Okay, this
yeah,
is with Samson. I don't think there is one with Derek.
because you got to think it's Derek's best version versus Nick's best version at that point, and I think Derek's best version is better.
Right. You can be
And that's no
wrong.
slight on Nick. I like, maybe that does win like side by side, but I don't think it does because that was third in the Olympia that year.
He should have
Who was
beat
ahead of?
Hottie and Derek. So Nick has never beaten Derek. He should have at
And that
the Derek looked like a boy.
I disagree.
Okay, you can be wrong.
So that's his best version versus Derek's not best
Take
version.
a look at this.
So how
And
can
the
that be
judges gave it
a
to
better
him.
version of Derek? Derek.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd give that to him, to be honest. Front lat spread's not good for both, but Nick has to win that. Derek has to win that, excuse me. Side chest.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
yeah, Nick on that one.
and this is maybe going to be surprising to you. At this point in time, Nick is winning the rear double biceps.
That is a very good rear double from Nick. Yeah, it is much closer there.
Make your decision.
I don't know.
No, it's not hard. It's not, it's okay. This is a younger
Yeah, I'll
Derek.
say Nick. I'll say Nick. I'll say Nick.
No one's saying he's
Yeah, the
beating
biceps are
Derek
too
now.
crazy.
Yeah.
So I have Nick winning 3-1, isn't it?
It's 2-2.
In my judging?
Yeah.
Derek.
Okay. You can't tell me Derek doesn't look small and Nick is clearing there.
Yeah, I'd say Nick on that one.
Nick wins the abs and thighs as well.
I'd say so, yeah. Yeah.
Unless you want to
I
count the
still think the
vacuum.
sizing is a little off still.
Well,
I don't
this
know, but
for
maybe
this
I'm-
one, yeah, it's not going to be perfect because okay.
Yeah, the vacuum though, yeah, the vacuum's hard. Yeah,
Oh,
so
fuck you.
I have it about 4-4-ish or something like that. I
Okay,
think.
but then Nick wins the most muscular. He has to.
Yeah.
He should have beat Derek here. He definitely should have. Hottie, we can have a different discussion, but Nick definitely should have been. Derek was way too green at this show. Way too new. Way too unseasoned.
The waist was so small. I don't know. Yeah, like Derek's definitely bigger now. It's funny. He's definitely bringing his best version nowadays.
Oh yeah, he's a lot bigger. But okay, let's add Martin into the mix. Martin versus Derek's best version.
I think this is futile though, because I think Derek's still beat him at the Olympia.
I think
He's
you should
better.
hurt yourself.
Okay. Yeah, Derek wins a front double.
Pretty close. Would you say that's closer than either of Nick's versions?
Yes.
Okay. It pains me to see Martin pose the front lat spread. They both kind of have a similar. It just we need. Where are the lats? Where are the lats?
I think Martin looks good on that one, to be honest.
He's not winning though.
Oh, it's close.
Okay,
Maybe narrowly Derek. I like that one of Martin, though. I've got to be honest. Shit, man. I don't know.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, come on. Come on. Okay.
I like Martin. I like Martin.
You're giving this pose to Martin.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
What? I don't know. Yeah.
Side chest, I'd
See, that
probably
one
give to
there.
Derek. Just
In
there's,
that lighting,
there's
I'd
just
say Derek.
extra detail.
Derek.
Martin, yeah. I think Martin could win the real lat spread. And also, I think Derek is too tall here. Actually,
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
like Martin, like
yeah, Martin could definitely win the
when
win
you
the relay.
see when you see Martin and Derek on the same stage, it's actually surprising how much taller Martin is.
Yeah.
Like I was surprised. Like that's not a very good indicator. Here's one. Martin is crouching and still the top of his head is at the same height of Derek's. And just look at this most muscular next to Derek's. And Derek has improved his.
Yeah.
But like this is one of the shots that isn't like that improved, even on his best version, you know?
I think Martin should just hit that crab all day. Like, as soon as they call him most muscular, I would just hit the crab.
And yeah, he moves around a lot, and this is okay too, but he should pick one of those and just do it.
Or just hit the one hand on hip. I wouldn't hit the hands together if I was Martin.
Would you give who'd you give the real lat spread to?
I'll say Martin.
Ooh, I love you.
It's very close though. Like to be honest, probably Derek. I'd say Martin.
Interesting. Okay.
I probably, to be honest, for real lat spread, I'd say Derek marginally. Martin.
Definitely.
Most muscular Martin. Yeah. So if shot for shot, I mean, Martin's probably, tying or somewhere around that.
Yeah, because Martin has doesn't really have a weak shot. Derek
Yeah,
does.
exactly.
The thing is, Derek has, I always say this, high highs. You get shots like the front and rear double, but you have shots that are pretty, I gotta be honest, for the caliber that he is, kind of poor. Abs and thighs, most muscular, not that good. But then there
Yeah.
are some shots like the side shots that are above average. But you have a guy like Martin
Mm.
who doesn't have a single shot like his Derek's rear double, but nothing like Derek's abs and thighs. All of them are good. All of them are probably slightly above average. Besides the front lat, which is just slightly
Yeah.
below average. And
It's
it could be fixed. That's very fixable. Very.
a little bit
So,
like Good Vito. Like he has those high highs and the low lows.
but I think
Not low
Derek's.
lows. Not that Derek has low lows, but
You're right, but Derek has a lot more mid range to his game. Vito does not.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are there any updates of Derek that you have seen? I can't remember seeing any
I remember seeing some a little bit ago.
like these.
There's one. 2 hours ago. There we go. Peak week behind the scenes. What timing?
Matt Grego, his wife, is there. Okay. But yeah, that's probably all we can see from Derek. Is the posing video up here. I'll put that on. And then it's time. It's time. I can't believe it's all come down to this. I've been waiting for this show, and I think we all have for a while. Since before the Arnold, I was thinking about this show.
Mm.
I must have missed it, unless there's just not a video on his page.
I'm so glad Derek jumped in too.
It does make it better. It definitely does. It makes it, the stakes are extremely raised now. Could you imagine if Nick Walker does come back and beat Derek?
It's high stakes for everyone, man, because you think about it. You got Nick Walker. This is like sort of like, when was the last time Nick Walker brought a great physique to the stage? Like, that sounds really harsh, but like, I'm talking
Maybe
like near
2023.
his best. It's
And
been
I
a
mean, like,
while.
he was punished for that. The judges didn't like it. They said he was too downsized.
Exactly. So it's
So probably
I'm
2022.
wondering. So it is a big show for Nick, and then it's a big show for Martin. Because imagine if Martin won or knocked off, Nick and Derek or really any of these, top three. And Martin's going to look so much better with tan on and everything on stage for sure. So when was this? This is a couple of weeks back. So
2 weeks ago.
probably 3 weeks out. Yeah, so it would have been 3 weeks out, I'd say. So it would have been about 2.5 weeks, I reckon, because it would have been on the weekend. So yeah, this would be 3 weeks out. He looks pretty conditioned there. Waist is tight. And
He
I'm
needs
sure
to
he's
tan.
probably not like,
He needs to tan
yeah.
pre-contest. It would be beneficial.
I think it does help. Yeah. His back doesn't look ultra shredded there or anything, but this is, he's got his pants pulled
He
up and
always
everything.
has the
I
thicker
think that
skin in
there's
the
a
back.
little bit of water there.
He always has the thicker skin in the back and the delts. It's troublesome.
Yeah. So we'll see, but apparently he's about 10 pounds up, but as long as he can bring the conditioning, I'm sure he will.
I'm
But
trying
yeah,
to
he's
find
going
the
to be good.
video of Derek Lunsford. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
2023 Mr. Olympia.
No, that was Hottie.
I have no idea who he is. First ever champ.
First ever champ. Okay, well maybe am I just not there? I'm not all there? This is it, surely. Okay.
Shirley?
Yeah. Is this unbeatable? You know what? Maybe it is.
No.
The only
Even his coach said no.
the only people that can beat it are Shredded Andrew and Samson Dowda. Well, Andrew Jack and Samson Dowda. I made it sound like they were married and that they both share the Dowda last name. Would you concur?
Andrew Dowder. No. I
Okay.
don't, because
Who
This
does?
version, this version maybe, yeah.
Yeah, this
This
version, this
version, this
package.
exact version might be a bit. It might be a bit too hard to beat for these other guys. Yeah,
Hadi Chupin, 2024 Arnold Classic champion.
that version could rival this, but I still don't even know.
Okay, so does the best Nick ever, 2022, because we don't know what he's going to bring, does that best to date of Nick beat this version of Derek?
No, because it didn't even beat the old version of Derek. We got second to be honest.
Yep. That's just what it is. I hate to make a like lame prediction, but like you'd kind of be foolish not to have Derek in first, no?
I agree.
But I want
I
to.
concur.
Oh, I wanted to go. I came into this video. I said I can't. Every time I make regular predictions, something always happens. So I'm
Yeah,
going to try to predict the upset. Not the upset, but a upset. So let's
I'm
go.
predicting some upsets.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Yeah.
Let's
Are you gonna
start.
bring up my thing?
You want to start at first or sixth?
Oh shit! I'll start at sixth.
Okay.
William Bonac.
Oh, you say, I thought you
Hater.
usually say William Bonac.
Yeah, normally, yeah. But I thought I should say it right for once.
Okay. Okay. Fifth,
Fifth? Fifth, I'm gonna put Mikel
please.
Crusoe.
Oh no. Oh no.
And then from here, this is where shit gets spicy.
Yeah, clearly. Okay.
So
Let's hear it.
fourth, I'm saying Nick Walker.
Oh, I can even. Oh, oh, I can't even write this down. This is too funny. This is too.
Crazy talk, I know,
This
right?
is what. This is what kind of what I was going to do. This is the upset I'm kind of predicting. Not in the way you have it though. And then veto, I'd assume.
Then in third place, I have Martin Fitzwater.
No. No. Xavier, you are tumbling off a cliff. You're tumbling towards a cliff. Please take my
No.
hand.
Okay, in second place, I have Good Vito.
Okay, let me stop you. Okay, and then Derekins first. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, did you have
I
Eric
was thinking
Wood
more
first?
Ron Gordon. Ron Gordon in first place.
Okay. Okay.
No side on Ron Gordon. Big dude.
Okay. Here's my problem. Second place, while they may not be some shows, the winner of the show just comes in and steamrolls everyone. But
Mm.
a lot of the times, second place is comparable to first. You can see why that guy placed second, right? You can see why
Yeah.
he bested the rest of the lineup. How is Vito even comparable to Derek outside of the front double?
Ab and Thigh. He dominates.
Okay, okay, that's one I will concur. But to be fair, Derek does a lot of work without having decent abs and thighs.
Yeah, of course, of course. I think Vito will overall be improved. I think the quads will look crazy in any front pose. So, like you're talking, obviously the abs and thighs, the most muscular. I think he can win the most muscular. Honestly, like that's three
Over
shots.
Derek,
But I think, yeah,
I
I
think
think he
that'd
wins
be a
them.
bit closer just because they kind of suffer the same problem of lack of detail through the chest and shoulders.
I think that Vito will be considerably harder,
That
considerably.
doesn't mean
But
more
I think,
density and detail necessarily.
but generally it means more detail, and just
Not
more
if you.
depth.
Yeah, Derek is shredded in the glutes. He's like he has the best glutes in the world right now. Like they're insane. That front half does not match up to the glutes. So no,
Mhm.
be more condition is certainly not always equal more detail.
I
In
think the bigger
fact,
legs
being
plus the
fuller,
cuts in Vito's legs.
if someone came in fuller, like I think Nick Walker, I think to some degree if he came in fuller, he'd have more detail. I'm not his
Yeah,
coach,
some guys like that. Yeah, because
but
if you
yeah.
flatten out, you can lose the detail because you don't have that same pop to the muscle. So
You ready for some real predictions? That was just dog shit. I mean, really. I'll give you Bonac. I'll give you Bonac. Even this one, I'm kind of hesitant on. I think he can switch around with my fifth place.
oh, you're putting William.
Yes, and then Vito. Okay, okay. Fourth place, Mikel Krizanek.
The big Kriz.
Third, Nick
Safe.
Walker. Ooh,
That's not that crazy.
this is
I
the
got him in
spicy
fourth,
one.
bro.
And then Martin, and then Derek. I think
Safe picks.
y- y- not too safe. Not too safe. I think a
Not
lot
too
of
safe. There is a slight upset in there.
yeah, because I wanted to do something spicy because I feel like it always happens. You got to predict the upsets. And
Yeah.
I think this one, I wanted to go into the show predicting what's the most exciting thing that would happen. And that's probably Nick Walker winning, but I was like, that's a little too unrealistic. What's the funniest thing that could happen instead? Maybe not the most exciting, what's the funniest thing? Nick Walker being third. That would be hilarious. So I'm predicting it.
Is Martin doing New York?
No.
He should.
Yeah, but he said he just wanted to do the first Pittsburgh show and shut it down.
I think that's silly though. If there's 1 week, 1 week after, fly to New York and try to get 30K.
He may show
They
up.
just upped the prize money. And I'm sure
actually, it was
there,
30K last year. They're flexing the 30K like it's some record setter. They did this last year.
Was it not the 25 last year?
I think it was initially, but then it got bumped up again to 30K.
I don't know, man.
I'm very sure, actually.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But anyway, I can tell you who the viewers are going to like more prediction-wise.
Me.
No,
They'll probably hate more, but I care more about trying to be right and trying to pull off a cool upset.
Okay.
Could you not just see, for example, seeing that prejudging videos of people going Nick versus Vito, and Vito's hitting like a most muscular and just looks like an absolute beast.
Nick versus Vito is a lot different than Vito plays
not
second
Nick.
to Derek.
I mean Lunsford versus Vito.
Oh no, I can't see that. I can't see that at all.
Lunsford versus Vito for the win? Question mark.
Vito, that would make him like de facto top 3 in the world.
I don't think de facto, because I think could be that comparison, and people are like, holy crap, they're shocked by Vito, and then Vito's sort of like a contender for places in that 4th to 6th in the Olympia. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
insane. He's not doing that. Okay.
I think he can place 4th to 6th. I think he can this year. I'm big on Vito.
That's insane.
Well,
so
who had Martin in 4th last year going into the Olympia? No one.
Everyone had him. I had him top 8, and I was like, and I was
like 7th and stuff like that. But going to 4th is crazy. And I predicted that he'd get top 5 in the Olympia like 2 years ago.
Vito Martin was in a much better position than Vito was, physique wise.
Yeah, I agree. He's in a better position. He was in a better position, but Vito's had the year off.
Look, I know these guys aren't there, but in order to step to Derek Lunsford, you have to be thinking, oh well, he can beat Hunter Labrada, he can beat Andrew Jacked, he could pose a challenge to Samson Dauda.
You can beat Hunter Labrada.
You have to be thinking along those lines.
I am.
Gee, bro. Okay. You need to be punished when Vito is not top 3.
No, well, if he's outside of a top 5, then yeah, I'll take it.
There's a chance he can beat Chriso. There's a chance he can beat Bonac. I can see him as high as 4th, and that's pushing it. I cannot see him beating Olympians, Nick Walker, Martin, and Derek. Are you kidding me?
Bonac was 7th in the Olympia. It's not much difference. I'd say there's a tier difference.
You're right.
I would say there's a tier.
You're right. Bonac could have beat Samson Dauda at last year's Olympia because there's just not that much difference.
Shut the fuck.
What are we talking about? Vito.
You were saying Hunter before.
Hunter in what?
You said about I don't know, someone beating Hunter. You're saying like he could beat Hunter and all these guys. Like, I think Vito can. I think Vito can. I
barely want to put him above Bonac because Bonac is very complete.
I agree.
And I admire completeness.
But if Vito is on, which I think he will be, I think he's going to be trouble to
In my
whoever.
predictions, he is the most shredded Vito ever. That's what I am imagining, and he's still fifth.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Second is insane. I thought you were losing it with third, but second is
You said
insane.
you said if I came on, we could have a bet on this. Financial bet, maybe. I'd put
I
$100 on the line
ooh, 100. Okay, for what exactly?
for Crizzo beating. I don't know, for Vito beating Crizzo. Crizzo versus Vito, who places higher?
I'm not comfortable enough to bet on that one. Vito placing
Oh, you were so
Vito.
comfortable the
Okay,
other
no,
day.
no, 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 no. Because Vito beating Crizzo, okay, that puts him as high as fourth. That's a lot different than him beating Martin and Nick. That's
You seemed
insane.
convinced Crizzo was going to beat Vito the other day.
I will bet $1,000 Vito is not second.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be second either.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh, no, not Vito. I thought you said Crizzo. I'm getting confused between my Crizzos and my Vitos.
That's insane. I would bet my life savings that Vito is not placing second. Like that is how confident I am. Because you're right. I wouldn't bet, and maybe you think that's kind of a cop out. I wouldn't bet versus Vito and Crizzo because the odds for me, because I'm not a betting man. So if I am going to bet, it has to be guaranteed, almost maybe not guaranteed for me. But I need to know my shit. Vito and Crizzo.
For me, it has to be like 50, just over 50%.
That's yeah. You're a gambling man. Vito versus Crizzo.
There's no rake.
I
You know
think
what I mean?
I think that's a good. I think that is an all around good bet. I think it's about 65-35. Crizzo's going to win. But
Yeah.
Vito placing second, 99% chance that it's not going to happen.
I wouldn't say 99% chance. No.
Okay, 98.
No. I disagree. I think there's more chance than that because crazy shit happens in bodybuilding. People miss their peak. People coming on, like, you know.
Is there a way we could do like what Fuad does and basically add up the placings?
Does this side chest beat Nick Walker's? I mean, not Nick Walker's.
That? Who the hell is that twig?
That's me. That's me.
Does that side chest beat
muscular-
Nick Walker's? You're not even fit
No,
enough
not
to
Nick
wash
Walker's.
his
Good
posing
Vitos.
trunks. Vito's, yeah, yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, you're right.
But
You're right. That wouldn't even. I mean, you can't even stand next to Good Vito and not look like a boy. I mean, that is pretty shit.
yeah, no, I would look like a child.
Okay,
It's rough. Rough out there.
I'm just not a betting person. I was in a Bible study before this.
Okay. And now I'm gambling.
Yeah, and now I'm gambling. Okay, but the Vito thing. If you want to bet on Good Vito, I will bet literally anything you want.
You just said no. Like on in placing second, you mean?
Oh no, I'll bet you $100 that Vito's not going to play second.
No, I'm not going to bet that because that's not a smart bet. I don't think.
Right.
There's too many good
Because
guys
it's not
to
a
place
smart
higher.
decision. I'm okay with my Crizzo decision, but betting on it is a little. I think Good Vito is sixth to fourth. He is so far from second that I wouldn't even consider betting on that if I were in your position.
He's more likely to play sixth to fourth just based on odds. Like if I was setting odds for this, like yeah, you would put him at lower odds. But I think
And Crizzo would be
bet
roughly
at
the
lower
same.
odds.
Crizzo would be roughly the same, just a little bit
Yeah.
better.
I think that Vito would have better odds of winning if I was betting. On it.
Crizzo has better odds of winning or
No,
placing
no, no.
second
Vito has better odds
of winning than Crizzo.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Oh man,
I think Vito is being overlooked to the nth degree.
overlooked and placing second to the best bodybuilder in the world is quite a different thing.
Well, look, like in reality, that's going to be tough, but I think he could do it. But I think
Is this your prediction? Are you taking the piss here? Like,
I think 5 guys can be top 2. I think Crizzo, in a perfect world, he can be
Yes.
top 2, but I just don't think it will happen. But I'm putting Vito second. I don't care. I'm going to have a bold prediction for once.
Okay, I'm asking for bold
Authority
predictions.
on that.
I had a bold. I wouldn't say mine's that bold actually. If I wanted to be really bold, I'd have Martin winning, like Marx Max Muscle, who declined our
He
invitation.
does.
Well, actually,
He
I don't know if he got it
he mentioned you in a video
recently.
just recently. Yeah, I was listening to one of his recent
Don't
videos and he
spoil it.
said, "Okay,
Don't spoil it. Actually, we'll do a cut here. Let's talk about it right now. Let me pull it up.
so is this being on the video?
Yeah, yeah, this will be on the video.
Why are we doing a cut? What do you mean?"
Well, I can cut to the. Okay, we won't do a cut. But this is interesting.
Okay.
This is interesting. The plot thickens. His
Hmm.
most recent one was the Pittsburgh Pro one.
I don't know if it's that one. I watched a few of his videos recently, yesterday. He
Oh,
mentioned me too. He mentioned me first. He mentioned it. Oh, he did. No, it was maybe one a few weeks ago. I can't remember, but
it
it was
had
one
to
of
have
the
been a
ones he
few
did.
weeks
It
ago.
was a Pittsburgh Pro. It was a Pittsburgh Pro one, related one, because I wanted to see what he had to say about the show in the lead up as well, and my updates. But he said this is more of a bodybuilding news type video, and then he goes on and talks about all the different news channels and stuff. And he mentions Project Bodybuilding.
Okay. We're making a cut so I can find this video and we can watch it here. Okay, so Xavier, you said you found the clip. Let's watch it.
Bit of a news. Pittsburgh is it's news to me. There's other news channels out there. There's what's this new one here? Nick Strength and Power. I'm just kidding. He's been around a while. Goat Fitness is one, two. EP09, another one. Bodybuilding News Network. You still posting, Sanch? Desktop Bodybuilding, another one. Oh, Muscle Discord, very popular new channel. Project Bodybuilding, I guess, is one. And then you got your Superset Man.
I guess is one. You know me. You
News
know
channel
me.
he's talking. He's talking about news channels.
I can't believe he mentioned me at all.
Well, you're not really a news channel too, so
Yeah, wow, he's thinking of me. Well, Mark, and anytime
yeah.
you wanna squash the beef, we can do it live. I don't really care.
I
Anyway,
want the beef to be squashed.
I I don't have any beef. But anyway, are you confident in your predictions?
No,
Okay, how confident can you be? But are you satisfied with them?
I'm satisfied.
Do you think you can do better?
No, I'm happy with these.
Really? I'm fine with mine. Like, I really think this is, like, I mean, could I switch Nick and Martin? Yeah. I don't really think it's that unlikely that Martin beats Nick. Really?
No, I don't think it is. I've got Martin beating Nick. But the thing
Oh,
is,
yeah.
like, I could see a world where, like, if Martin brought something similar to what he brought to the
Prague.
Prague, I could see him falling to, the
Underrated
forefront.
package. Underrated package. Go back and look
Not
at
a
it, especially okay, you're right. But to be fair, okay, I will say if Nick brings a gut again like he did at New York, forget about it. Vito
Yeah.
will beat it.
Nick slips, yeah, Nick slips. So, like that New York package, if Nick brings that, that could be six.
Career ending.
That could be six.
No,
Seriously, like,
I don't. Okay. Well, the thing is, I do think last year's New York Pro was a little bit of a warning.
yeah,
Like them, it is kind of embarrassing. Like Martin never even went to the Olympia, and he's taking votes away from Nick Walker. That's humiliation. Nick,
Martin did go to the Olympia.
not at that point.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Yep.
So to have Nick be almost beat, at least on paper, by some nobody, and no, I don't think Martin was ever going to beat him, but they allowed it to look close on paper, and
Yeah, exactly.
I think that was like, hey, you gotta, and I'm sure they talked to him like, hey, you gotta bring this in for sure.
You got to tighten your shit up.
And I think if he fails to do so, it's going to be an issue. But if I think if he goes too far and brings a package without the freak factor, me personally, it's not something I'd like to see. And a package like that lost to Samson Dauda, a less conditioned, less developed Samson. Samson's not fully hatched yet. He should not have won the 2023 Arnold Classic, but it happened. So I think the judges are just they already don't like Nick Walker's physique it seems when they have an aesthetic alternative to choose from, and there are a couple in this lineup.
Yeah, I think that's what will cause the issue for Nick. And Bob Chick predicted Martin to beat Nick. I just saw today, as did Sean Ray.
They had Martin winning New York after the fact, if I'm not mistaken, in New
I
York.
believe so. I did.
Yeah.
I did too. I did too. But I was only obviously saw video and photos. But yeah,
So, yeah, I'm. Look, if I was making your predictions, I'd be shitting bricks right now.
there's no repercussions apart from bodybuilders not liking me. That's all.
Me making you look stupid. How about that? How about that? Foolish for putting Vito.
It's so much easier to predict the English speaking ones that you talk to in higher places. But I thought I'd go out on a limb here and just say Vito's gonna.
That's so ridiculous. And you genuinely think that could happen? Good chance.
Yeah, I think Vito could be up there. Yeah, right in that mix, in that first call out, and being moved into middle positions potentially.
Wow.
I might change it from my own predictions. I don't think I would.
Oh, fuck you! What?
No. I'll keep it the same just for prosperity.
It's posterity. Anyway,
prosperity.
promiscuity.
Very prosperous.
for prosperity. So what is Vito doing? Fertilizing your garden? Like, is he blessing?
He's giving me money. He's giving me money to make his prediction. Just for
Man, that was a good shout, wouldn't you say? And we had a cameo from Marx Max Muscle in this episode.
Exactly. Mark from Marx Max Muscle.
Wow. Well,
Is that decent?
No. But he's quite unique. He's quite unique. You can't do that.
Mark here for Marx Max Muscle. No, I can't do it.
It's not even the voice, it's the inflection that you're missing. His cadence. It's like everything.
Everyone.
Everything
That's good. That's good.
Everything is staccato.
Everyone. Mark here from Marx Max Muscle.
Everything is. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Marx Max. Everything is. There's a slight crescendo in everything.
Everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's
I fade out.
Yeah.
Every time
no,
I'm
it's
talking,
actually a
I'm
fade up. It's actually a fade up.
I want to fade up.
Okay. Maybe I can.
Hello, everyone.
At the end of this video, I'll fade it up. Okay.
Okay.
Well, thanks for coming on. Thanks for making some predictions. You never fail to entertain.
Thank you. I know I'm very entertaining.
Those were some frightful predictions, but we'll see how it pans out. And come back so we can talk about the aftermath. Hopefully with Jake. I'll see if I can work that out. But anyway, for those of you watching at home, make sure you subscribe to Mr. Xavier Wills from Desktop Bodybuilding. And make sure you like
Check
this.
me out on IFBB AMA
Oh,
too.
yes. Oh, yes.
IFBBAMA.org. Go there. There's plenty of videos from me and Lee Priest podcast and things like that. So that'll get your juices flowing.
Well,
just watch your mind.
They do sell juice on that website.
Yeah. Well,
that's crazy.
Who knows?
Reputable website, though. Anyway, make sure you guys...
Not on IFBBAMA.org. No.
Does it not redirect you to the other side?
It's something like that. I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyway, make sure you go check that out and subscribe to Xavier's channel. Maybe we'll get some content out of him before long. And then go ahead and hit the like button on this video, subscribe for more, and I will see you all in the next video.